Yo, what is good, Ninja? OG over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another Nintendo Switch and gaming news video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys, like always, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So we've got 10 minutes of Soulcalibur VI gameplay with the producer interview. They talk about the reversal edge won't be the only new mechanic, various different things when it comes to the graphics, and so much more. I can't go over the full interview because it would take me way too long, but I will go over some of the highlights from the official PlayStation YouTube account that actually uploaded this to the channel. PSX was last night, and there was some more information that came out from there. So let's go ahead and get right into some of the stuff here. Now, regarding the start of the project, the development of Soulcalibur VI really began because this year marks the 20th year anniversary for the franchise, and there's a team inside of Bandai Namco called Project Soul, and we weren't sure where this was going to go. So that's when we decided to launch Project Soul, and the brand was at a crossroads, if you will. So we wanted to make a new game to refresh and celebrate the 20th anniversary. Now let's go ahead and get into the technology and graphics powering the game. So in terms of the engine and graphics, we did a lot of exploration in-house and tried different combinations of rendering, but in the end we settled on using Unreal Engine 4 because it worked very well for our project. And a big translation and shift in Soulcalibur VI was the art depiction, art direction in general, and this is going to go into a little bit of the development backstory. But the code name for the game is Luxor, and we are actually using its kind of a play on words, Lux, which of course means light. So lighting was a huge challenge for ourselves in developing Soulcalibur VI, and we wanted to really bring back the feel that we had in Soulcalibur 1, where it felt a little bit bright overall, but it wasn't hitting everything and overexposing everything. Because that's the challenge when you light the stage or a scene too much, you tend to have that effect. So we wanted to brighten things up just a little bit with the art direction. That was kind of the challenge we wanted to tackle with Soulcalibur VI. They also talked about the release date. So regarding this, so we are working very hard to get this game out. And I would like to say as soon as we can, but within the 2018 year is the best answer I can give you right now. But we are working hard, so please stay tuned for more information on a release date. The game is set for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC in 2018. Although I do want to talk into the next thing here about Soulcalibur VI, and there was actually some information that potentially could show that this game is going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch as well. Now, over on the official Bandai Namco page for Soulcalibur VI, they talk about the overview of the game, what it represents, and if you look over right here, it says the release date, it just says coming soon, which is funny. But then it also says platforms, and it says PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, and it just says console right there. That's just so weird that it just says console. Usually you might see like platforms and then it says consoles, then it lists all the consoles, and then you have PC, but it just says console right there. That's definitely doesn't seem like a mistake. It seems like they just put console there as if it's coming to something else. So there's been some speculation going on that it is going to come to Nintendo Switch, and Nintendo is going to have an announcement for the game. Maybe there's like a special guest character that they really wanted to reveal it for. So it's not out of the question yet, and Bandai Namco hasn't came out and said anything like, no, it's not coming to Nintendo Switch at this point. So maybe it is coming to the Switch. And like I've said before, I think I said in my podcast the other night, I was like, if it doesn't come, there's a huge missed opportunity, just in my opinion, as far as the franchise appeal, because it's a fighting game. You know, with these fighting games, not everyone is going to buy it. We've seen the sales of Tekken on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. While very good on PlayStation 4, pretty much kind of weak on the Xbox One and okay on PC. So I do feel that with this type of game, I think it would be good to get it out on a hot new system that can be played anywhere in order to increase the appeal if they can do it. It does run on Unreal Engine 4, but like I said, I'm not going to go rush to Bandai Namco and ask them import beg or anything like that. We still need to wait and see for the final word when it comes to things, because a lot of people have started to speculate. My boy Stealth on Twitter, there's been other people that have came out and said it too, that hey, they think this game is coming to Nintendo Switch and there's going to be a reveal at a separate event, maybe even at Nintendo's rumored Nintendo Direct that's going to go down in January, and we're going to get like a Link reveal, or we're going to get a Fire Emblem character reveal, and the original rumor, which got a lot of stuff right, so that there's definitely going to be a Switch version, although they were wrong on saying that there wasn't going to be an Xbox One version, and there ended up being one. So we still need to wait and see for all the full details. I still think that it could potentially come, but overall, as far as what they're doing with Soulcalibur VI and the new gameplay that they showed off, it's looking really really good. Looks like classic Soulcalibur with a lot of new mechanics that they're going to throw into there. The reversal edge looks really cool, and overall the game is looking beautiful. It looks exactly like you would expect for a Soulcalibur, and maybe it will become the Soulcalibur 2 of the franchise, or heck, maybe it'll even reinvent the franchise like Soulcalibur 1 did in terms of how it played and what players did in the game. Overall, I'm just excited to see more of it. I like the fact that they have some great stuff as far as talking about the lighting, making it more bright, because it's really not like a hardcore type of gruesome game. Even though you're using weapons to hit enemies, it's never been that style of game. So I do like the art direction, I like the lighting that they're using, I like the graphical effects that they have, and I do feel that it's going to be a solid Soulcalibur entry and definitely redeem itself after Soulcalibur V and kind of what went down there, because that game was okay, but I just don't think that they really tried hard enough. So we'll see what happens as far as Soulcalibur 6 and the gameplay, and if it comes to Nintendo Switch. Let me know you guys' thoughts as far as how you feel about the game so far, the mechanics in there, the graphics in the game, and if you'd buy a Nintendo Switch version, or are you okay with going with the PS4, Xbox One, or PC? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the last article here, I want to briefly discuss Bayonetta 3 and the impact that it's going to have on the Nintendo Switch, in addition to just other various Bayonetta things. And just because I love Bayonetta, so you guys are going to get multiple discussions whenever we get anything when it comes to Bayonetta, but I wanted to make sure that this point hit home when it comes to this and Bayonetta and Nintendo's relationship as far as with Sega and kind of what they're doing. Now, just starting off from the very beginning, Sega came out on stage earlier this year and said, we are going to be supporting the Nintendo Switch. And so far, we've seen 2 releases from Sega on the Nintendo Switch. Actually 3 if you count the Puyo Puyo Tetris. You have Sonic Mania, Sonic Forces, and I might have been missing one. I think there's Phantasy Star Online, and then obviously Bayonetta is in collaboration with Nintendo, although Nintendo's publishing it. That is Sega's IP as far as the license goes. So Sega's coming out and putting some okay support out on the Nintendo Switch. And people have to realize, because there's been a lot of talk about Bayonetta being exclusive again, and people are upset about this, but I think at this point you can pretty much book it that Bayonetta is a Nintendo franchise, and that's something that all the people out there, they need to deal with it. Like, you really need to deal with Bayonetta being a Nintendo franchise at this point. I think once Bayonetta 2 came out and it had a great reception, it didn't need to sell 10 million copies or whatever the case is. It sold enough. Nintendo knows that there's a passionate, dedicated fan base out there. Reggie Fils-Aimé even said that himself. Nintendo needs these type of franchise. People have said all sorts of silly things, kitty, blah blah blah, this and that, and this pretty much flies in the face of that. It pretty much flies in the face of it. I don't believe that type of stuff anyway, but this pretty much completely contradicts what those people are saying, and Nintendo knows this. Bayonetta is not one of those games that takes a gazillion dollars to fund. It's not a Call of Duty. It's not a Destiny. It's not one of these type of games. Nintendo doesn't need this to be the all-time best-selling game, and people like to throw this in your face whenever you bring up Bayonetta being exclusive. Oh, well, sales this and sales that, yet none of them can tell you, well, how much does it actually cost to develop Bayonetta? Okay, what's the cost of developing a style like this? If you've played Bayonetta, you know that this game has never ever been a super high budget like a Call of Duty or anything like that. It doesn't need to sell in that range, and I think Nintendo even made costs lower than the original budget of the game, in my opinion, since they essentially reused the engine and touched things up a little bit. They had some peer-to-peer online multiplayer, so there was nothing elaborate or crazy. And if you've played the game, they don't have every single scene animated. There's like really weird like still shots, and then with voiceovers on top of that. There isn't always a lot of voiceovers in the game. It doesn't have a bunch of crazy, super expensive like mocap with a bunch of different people in there, or having to do like Call of Duty style stuff. It doesn't have the marketing budget of those type of games, so Nintendo doesn't need it to be this crazy seller. What Bayonetta is here to do, Bayonetta is here to offer another high quality exclusive to the passionate Nintendo fan base out there. And once Bayonetta got into Smash, it was pretty much a wrap. Nintendo knows that they can't let this character go, and the fact that they saved the franchise just in general, they saved it from basically being dormant for probably a very long time, that's enough credibility for Nintendo to say, alright, this is our franchise at this point. And a lot of gamers, if you want to play the game, you're just going to have to deal with that. And you have to recognize that Nintendo did save this franchise. So I can applaud Nintendo for doing that. Now, I understand some of the frustration at the same time, but like I said, once Bayonetta was in Smash Bros, Nintendo knows that they have a dedicated group of players out there that are now more aware of Bayonetta at this point. And the fact that all 3 Bayonetta games are coming to Nintendo Switch, a more popular system that's probably going to outsell the Wii U by early 2018, it just makes sense for Nintendo to take this franchise and kind of move it forward and give Platinum Games the freedom to do what they need to do in order to create a high quality game and keeping it on hardware that's not going to balloon the cost up where people are expecting 4K and all of this crazy stuff, man. So it's pretty cool to see. I'm looking forward to seeing Bayonetta 3, how it turns out. That teaser trailer got me extremely hyped, and I'm excited to play Bayonetta 1 and 2 again anywhere I want on the Nintendo Switch. That's going to be a lot of fun. Also having Tag Climax on the Nintendo Switch, that's going to be cool as well. So what do you guys think about Bayonetta 1, 2, and 3 coming to Nintendo Switch? The impact of this franchise as far as with Nintendo going forward and also on the Switch? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got Facebook, we've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the interwebs in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon and YouTube Live gaming page and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via sponsorship. So check out the link in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next video. Peace.